Some people think Ethereum could hit 10k this year. It would mean ETH doubling in price in the next few months. Others are pretty pessimistic, saying that it will drop back to 3500 here and hang around there for a while. But with everyone saying something and its contrary, what is really gonna happen with Ethereum? Where does it stand right now? Will we have this nice surprise of getting to 10k? Today, I'm gonna break down for you the 3 more likely scenarios for Ethereum's future, and each scenario will be matched up with a different price point. And of course, I will tell you which one I think is the most likely to happen. Hi fam, it's Cédric. If you like this kind of video, make sure to subscribe or add me on Telegram to discuss my views. The link is in the description box just below. So, alright, let's start with something exciting. Ethereum could shoot up to around 7,500 or even 8,500. I talked about that in a past video. I think yes, it could try to reach 10k, but it will most likely need some time to grab the last 2k's here, as it will be a major selling point. But why is that? Why could we get to this 2x quite fast in the next 2 to 3 months? The first reason is obviously Wall Street. Since the spot Ethereum ETFs launched, billions of dollars have already flowed in through them. What does that mean when you have like this kind of inflows? It's like we gave big institutions on Wall Street a one-click buy button for Ethereum. And of course, BlackRock and Fidelity are the heavy hitters. They make it very easy for institutions to buy Ethereum, just like buying stocks. And here is the thing, Ethereum's market cap is smaller than Bitcoin's. That means the same amount of money coming in will have a bigger impact on its price. You know, a lot of Bitcoin guys I know even stopped trading Bitcoin and now they trade ETH for that exact reason. The ROI is better and you don't have to sell your Bitcoin because it's too risky now to sell your Bitcoin. So that's a good reason. Then we have the L2 ecosystem. And a lot of people get this wrong. They see the transaction fees on Ethereum's mainnet dropping, you know, the gas price here. And with a low gas price, what did it mean in the past? Fees dropping meant less activity, right? So Ethereum is falling. No, that's actually a sign of success nowadays. Let me give you an analogy. Think of Ethereum mainnet, the L1, as a big highway. L2s like Arbitrum and Base are the new busy cities growing along that highway. So now all the traffic that used to pile up on that road, that highway, it got jammed. And the tolls went through the roof. But now Ethereum's upgrade is like building a data superhighway for these new cities at a super low cost. So transactions on L2s are surging day after day steadily. But the fees, they are plummeting. This attracts tons of people and apps to move over. So right now, the rent these L2s pay to the mainnet is still low because it's really cheap. But it's a long-term strategy, losing money to gain market share. And it's working. In the future, once the L2 ecosystems really explode, their demand for mainnet data space will drive up that rent. And that will bring a steady stream of value back to Ethereum, the mainnet itself. And then there is the moat. Ethereum has its deepest moat. It has a killer weapon, and it's its DeFi ecosystem. There is this thing called stacking, liquid stacking and restacking. It pushes capital efficiency to the max. With the same stack of ETH, you can now earn 3 layers of yield. The first layer is just stacking your ETH and getting the base interest. But then you can take your staking receipt and use it in DeFi for lending, trading, and earn another chunk. And then there is a third layer. You can restake that receipt to new projects and snag a third income stream. This kind of play, competitors can't copy it or pull it off. We don't even that with Bitcoin either. It's like a giant magnet locking in money and developers tied into Ethereum ecosystem. So if institutional money comes back, L2 strategies start paying off and DeFi top spots will stay unshakable. And therefore, market sentiment will ignite. So by year's end, 7,500 or 8,500, it's totally possible. But Ethereum isn't without worries. There are 3 dark clouds hanging over it. If those clouds turn into a storm, the price could drop back to 3,500 or even lower. The lowest I see, it will not be 3,500. The lowest I see, maybe it will be 3k, maybe it will be 2k. How could that happen? First, we have the global economic chill. Crypto is a high-risk asset. It's tied closely to the global macroeconomy. So right now, inflation is high and growth is slowing. This makes big money investors super cautious. Let's have a look at the data. In the last week of September, ETF funds outflowed nearly 800 million in 1 week. Sure, last week, it inflowed 1.3 billion. But it's clear it's not consistent, and that even with the hype we have those days, anything could happen. That's a clear signal. In uncertain times, institutions sell off risk asset first. If economic data keeps worsening over the next few months, ETFs could be bleeding money. That would put massive pressure on Ethereum's price. And then there is a second dark cloud above our heads. The challengers. Take Solana for example, but we could also talk about BNB. Solana is Ethereum's strongest rival, and it's rising at an insane speed. But yeah, keep an eye on BNB chain, BSC, because it's crazy too. But about Solana, if we say Ethereum is a secure, decentralized global settlement layer, then Solana is a fast, cheap, global payment layer. In speed and cost, Solana has a huge edge. Recently, Solana DEX trading volume was twice that of Ethereum's. This isn't just theoretical competition anymore. It's straight up stealing market share from Ethereum. You know, I have friends at Fidelity that I met in Dallas last year, and they have some funds. They are Bitcoin funds, but sometimes they will add an altcoin to hedge the risks. What altcoin did they choose? For example, they have a fund where it's 90% Bitcoin and 10% Solana. No ETH, no Ethereum at all. So that's really interesting. And also, I was talking about the competition. Now we have like people liking Ethereum because we have Arbitrum and stuff like that, you know, new DEXs. But we are seeing DEXs being built on other chains or multi-chains like Aster. And Aster is working really tightly with BSC chain. So that's not good for Ethereum layers too. And as a reserve asset, also people are starting to stack Solana and BNB too. Institutions too. Institutions are stacking BNB too. Countries add BNB to their strategic reserves too. So yeah, Ethereum is not the second best anymore. And then we could also talk about the third dark cloud above our heads. Stablecoins are mostly, and I talked about it in a previous video, on Ethereum. But like 40% is still on Solana. And now we have a new chain called Plasma. Stablecoins, especially USDT, are one of the core strengths of Ethereum. A ton of trading relies on it. But this new blockchain called Plasma, its sole goal is to be USDT's dedicated network. Its big selling point is zero fees for USDT transfers. So what's that? It's a dimensionality reduction attack. Tether wants to reclaim the fees that Ethereum was taking. If a bunch of USDT users get pulled over to Plasma, that will directly cut off a key revenue source for Ethereum. You can't underestimate this risk. So if economic panic ramps up, Solana and BNB keep grabbing turf, and Plasma successfully diverts stablecoins, then pessimistic sentiment will catch fire. That's how the price could break the 4K support and test $3,500 again. So now we have covered the best and the worst. So what's the most likely to happen now? I think it will be just a tug of war between bulls and bears. Neither side really wins in the next few months. The price, I think, will just keep ranging sideways, eventually stabilizing around 4,200 to 5K, maybe 5,500 after the new ATH hype. But yeah, in this script, and it's the situation today, macroeconomy is just, it's not great, it's not terrible. Institutional money will not flood in or flee en masse. It is what it is. It's just, yeah, so. And L2 ecosystem will keep growing, but not yet to the point of huge revenue for the mainnet. It will take time. Competition will stay fierce. Solana will keep taking ground. Plasma will pull some users, but they won't shake Ethereum's DeFi foundations soon, at least. So the end result will just be Ethereum's internal growth offsetting external pressure. The market lacks the power for a crazy rally or a brutal crash. Propped up by everyday holder and a few long-term funds, it will not be the most exciting thing to watch, but hey, you know what they say? Slow and steady usually wins the race. So my conclusion is simple. By the end of 2025, where ETH lands will really depend on which story wins. Is it the bull market of Wall Street's return and tech explosions, or the bear market of macro headwinds and strong rivals everywhere? Or maybe a tangled tug of war between bulls and bears? We will see. But of course, this is just my personal advice, my personal analysis. It absolutely doesn't constitute investment advice. Investing, as you know, is a game of probability. So for me right now, Ethereum has both opportunities and risks. And I just think we will head the 10K way, slowly, but surely. What about you? What's your take? Where do you think Ethereum will be by year's end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this kind of straightforward analysis and want more of it, remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel. You're also welcome to add me on Telegram via the link below. I'm Cédric, and I'll catch you in the next one.